Alright, what's going on, y'all? It's Cooper here, one half of FCSN. It's that time of the week to break down the Heisman Watch. And I'll go ahead and start off these top four, and then we'll move on to the next four. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the Heisman leaders. Okay, here we go. At the number 4 spot, I have got Amari Cooper of the Alabama Crimson Tide. He has been the card that keeps that Alabama offense in check. He's helped that young, or not like young quarterback, but inexperienced quarterback and Blake Sim. Wherever he needs to throw the ball, Amari Cooper has been that go-to guy, whether it be a screen pass or down the field. He's made all kind of plays. He had a bye week this past week, but in his past game versus Florida, he had 3 TDs, over 200 yards. Dude's been putting on monster numbers. Arguably the best wide receiver in the country, along with Rashad Green. Both those dudes have been just tearing it up. And Amari Cooper, just because of the impact he has and just how he helps that team, that quarterback, I have him at the number 4 spot on this Heisman Watch. Coming in at number 3, I have Kenny Trill. He had a pretty solid game against Arkansas. That game went into OT, and I believe Texas A&M pulled that one out. 28-21 final score. He had a solid game. I think he threw 3 or 4 TDs, and he is just he's a beast, man. He just keeps that offense going, throwing it all over the place. He's got a ton of confidence right now. I actually saw a graphic where they compared it to Johnny Manziel, and his numbers through his first 5 games are actually better than Johnny football. So it's kind of hard to argue with that. I have a number 3 in this Heisman Watch. Kenny Trill is legit. At the number 2 spot, this man had himself a ball game. Ty Gurley of the Georgia Dogs. He ran for over 200 yards versus Tennessee Volunteers. Had a hurdle that's ESPN top 10 worthy. And this dude's just a beast. Like, Georgia relies on the ground him and pound him. And I think his production almost helps because they've had so much other running backs this year, like Stoney Michel, Chubb, Nick Marshall's been Keith Marshall's been banged up a little bit. But because they have more running backs this year, it almost makes Ty Gurley more effective because they're able to spell him a little bit. And he has just stayed healthy. And when Ty Gurley is healthy, there is no better running back in the country, in my opinion. And that's why I have him at this number 2 spot. And at the number 1 spot, this is pretty much unanimous, Marcus Mariota, the guy who leads that high-powered Oregon Duck offense. He threw for 5 TDs in the week before the bye week. Dude is legit. He you can't really argue. He's Marcus Mariota, man. He didn't really turn the ball over. He throws for a ton of touchdowns. He runs for a lot of touchdowns. He's been very efficient, and he plays for arguably, in my opinion, the best team in the country at this point in time. We're yet to see what they get in the conference play, but at this point in time, Oregon's playing better than anybody else. So with this said, though, let's go ahead and jump into the next 4 contenders. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next 4 Heisman contenders. At this last spot, I have Everett Golston. In my opinion, he's been the reason for Notre Dame's success this season. He's been very efficient. He's the reason that offense does what it does. But in this past week, it was kind of like a great and bad at the same time. I mean, he almost broke the record for consecutive completions in NCAA history. But at the same time, he had 4 turnovers. So it's kind of like he played really well, but at the same time, he hurt his team. So that's why he didn't really move up too much. He actually dropped a little bit in this Heisman thing. But he has a couple big-time games coming up versus Florida State and Stanford. Chance for him to skyrocket his Heisman Watch, and we'll see what he can do in these coming weeks. But at this point in time, I have him at this 8th overall spot. Moving up, these next 2 guys are pretty much interchangeable. I actually asked you guys on Twitter. A couple of you guys responded saying this guy or that guy, or why this, why that. Amir Abdullah and Melvin Gordon. 2 Big Ten running backs, and these guys are both animals. I don't know who's better. Like, let me know in that comment section below, because I was talking to some people on Twitter about it, and I got mixed reactions from everybody. These guys are both beasts, and I'm not gonna pick one. I'm gonna say like tied for 2nd behind Trevor Knight. These guys are both monsters, both put up huge time numbers. So yeah, in that comment section below, let me know Amir Abdullah or Melvin Gordon. And then just outside those top 4 is Trevor Knight. He had a bye week as well for Oklahoma. And the week before that, he didn't do too much. I had him up toward the top. But then versus West Virginia, he didn't throw a touchdown pass. So he's got to make more of an impact for his team to move back into the Heisman top candidates. But he's still quarterback for one of the best teams in the country. And he's been playing pretty well. If he continues this, I think he'll maybe get an invite to New York by year's end. So with that said, let me know what you guys think of the video. If there's anybody that I'm leaving out, go ahead and put them in that comment section below and say, hey Cooper, you're sleeping on this guy. You need to throw him in your top 8. Keep in mind there's other players that I'm watching, but they may not be good enough above these guys for the top 8. But they could be top 10, top 15, or just great players overall. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you think there's somebody I should consider. Remember to like the video and subscribe if you have not already to FCSN. Follow me on Twitter at Cooper_sports. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. This is Cooper, signing out.